Great to have you with us. You're going to get the phony narrative from the left now for days. He was a nurse. He was a veteran's nurse. He was innocent. He was just peacefully protesting. We need to have moments of silence. He needs to be the martyr. He's the new George Floyd. He's a domestic terrorist that went to a protest with a loaded gun with 2 magazines and brandished it. Now, I want to ask you something. Have you or anyone that you know ever been to a protest? I have. People in my family have. Many of my friends have. Did they come with a loaded gun with 2 magazines and brandish it around? Is that what they did? This guy comes to a very stressful situation with a gun that's loaded, scuffles with ICE, shoves them around. They tell him to disarm. He doesn't do it. They then disarm him. In a split second, he goes for his phone to take a picture, and they shot him dead. They didn't know he was going for his phone. The guy already had 1 gun on him. Nobody knew they got the gun off him. He wouldn't give it up. They asked him to give his gun up. He wouldn't do it. I don't care if he was carrying legally or not. And he gets shot because he is disrupting law enforcement, not doing what they say, scuffling with them, and he gets shot. And somehow it's our fault. I'm always ahead of the curve. By the way, great to have you back. I was in Santa Barbara Tuesday through Friday. We got back very late Friday night at the winter meeting. I'll tell you about that a little bit later. We got a great show today. This morning, not tonight. Anyway, it's good to have you with us. I told you 2 weeks ago, there was no backing down here. There's no way out of this except the Insurrection Act. There's only a way forward. And every day the president waits in not doing this is a day we're going to get more violence. We've got the Minnesota Timberwolves basketball team having moments of silence for this guy. We have some minor league hockey team having moments of silence. The Vikings and the city of Minnesota and the Twins, they all deserve each other. And so do the Timberwolves. They all deserve each other. I don't know what you expect is going to happen. Why do you go? I just want a simple question. Why do you go to a protest that you know is heated? You bring a loaded gun with 2 magazine clips. Why are you going there with that? Why are you pulling it out? You have concealed carry. There's no need to pull it out. You only pull it out if you're being threatened. Why do you pull the gun out? See, these are the questions that won't get asked by the fake news. Fake news is on super overdrive here. We got a press conference at 1 o'clock with Caroline Levitt. I can't wait for this. Trump going to Iowa tomorrow. Hopefully I'll be there with him, God willing. Couldn't do my trip this week because of the snow with the bus, but we'll see what happens. Unbelievable. This is going to be the fake narrative now that you're going to get unabated. They're going to try to turn this guy into another George Floyd. Looting, rioting. Country is falling apart. And why are they there? What are they protecting? Have you asked yourself this? What are you protesting? ICE isn't deporting U.S. citizens. ICE isn't arresting law-abiding U.S. citizens. ICE is there to detain and deport people that entered the country illegally. Their top priority is those that have committed crimes, but others are going to get swept in it. If they didn't come here legally, they wouldn't be a target of ICE. And we wouldn't be in Minnesota if we didn't have massive fraud, which Trump now says could be $100 billion, massive fraud. We can't even get to the bottom of this. It's still going on. They still haven't stopped it. Nothing has changed there. And these people are coming out to defend what? You have to understand, the left understands if they lose this illegal immigration fight, they're done. That's their voters. That's their army. That's everything they have is there. This is why Biden opened the borders to take over power in the country through illegal aliens. And if a few crimes are committed along the way, in their mind, it is simply collateral damage for the greater good. I've told you this now for 3 years. They don't care. Hey, what about Lincoln Riley? Lincoln Riley was training to be a nurse. What about her horrific beating to death and her rape? Do we have moments of silence for her? Did Walsh cry over her or Fry or these other lefty libtards? Did Mandami say anything about that? No, all of a sudden got Mandami popping off. Like, what's this guy think he is? Like Secretary of State? Like, I texted the president. I told him, I don't like this. Like, who the hell are you? You're a 2-bit tin horn communist POS whose city is going to collapse. And guess what, dude? We ain't giving you a damn dime. When that thing implodes and you can't walk down the street and all the businesses shut down and they all leave and everybody with money leaves and nobody can take a bus because all the homeless are on it, turning into their homes, which is going to happen after it's free, what the hell are they going to do then? What, cry to Hochul? There's no backing down here. And it just, the Republicans have to stand up here. And I know that so many of them, they just want this to go away. You've already got the governor of Oklahoma. Well, this isn't a good look. We really should, think twice about this. You got, Tom Tillis saying, we really, can't be, these people are not trained. Shut up. They're out there doing their job. Who are you to say they're not trained? Why don't you get off your fat ass and do it? Tillis or Stilton, Oklahoma? Why don't you go there? Why don't you deal with these people you're dealing with on a daily basis and see how that works out for you? This is absolute and utter nonsense. What is going on? Nonsense. And Trump needs to call the Insurrection Act and end this thing. If he doesn't, there's no way out. Now they say they're going to shut the government down to defund ICE, just like they wanted to defund the police. Now they're back to that. One answer. There's one answer here. The Republicans have to have the balls in the Senate to eliminate the filibuster. That is your only answer. Otherwise, this government is going to get shut down again. And it's going to destroy what is now an economy that is about to boom. It is going to destroy it again. And we're going to get blamed again. And that's why that was the start of President Trump's poll numbers tanking, was this government shutdown. It never works for us. They need to break the filibuster and get 50 votes. They're not getting Murkowski. They're not getting Collins. They probably won't get Tillis. There's 50. They don't care. We need 50 votes. Break this thing. Pass the budget. Get it done. And then go govern. And then go get the Insurrection Act. And then let's let the refunds roll in. I had a friend of mine yesterday, Brandon Beach, treasurer. I'm sorry. U.S. treasurer. Not the Secretary of the Treasury, the treasurer who signs bills. And Beach said he went to Joe's right here up the street from us on Saturday for lunch, and the waiter told him he's getting a check back for $7,500. No tax on tips. The payroll system still took the tax out. They couldn't separate it. Now he gets a refund, $7,500. He says he's really excited about it. Loves Trump. Don't blame him. The economy is going to boom. Jobs are coming. Investment is coming. Income is going up. And the jobs that we're getting are for Americans, not illegals. And they're not government jobs. They're private sector jobs. companies now like me, we want to reinvest. We want to invest in this economy. This is why Trump is going to win the midterms if they stand tall. Average people, nobody likes to see somebody shot. Nobody revels in this. The optics are horrible. Nobody wants to see this, but the fake news is driving it to a fever pitch, and they're part of it. You just heard that Van Jones. It's 1984. Yeah, when you're basically advocating a civil war, yes, you came here illegally. We're getting you out. This is a struggle where there's a winner and a loser. There is no compromise here. There's no compromise because the Democrats need the legals here. They need them to vote. They need them in New York City. They need them for Mandami's army. They need them for the communist takeover, which they think is coming. They need them. Every time they see one deported, they cry because that's another voter and foot soldier lost for them. And they work so hard to get him here and then look the other way on the fraud and give him welfare. 87% of Somalians on welfare in Minnesota. 87%. That's 9 out of 10 people come for a better life and don't work and just go on the dole. 76% on welfare after being here 10 years. I could see 6 months, 10 years. You're paying for this. The fraud that they're looking the other way. Billions and billions and billions of dollars. And we send ICE in there to clean it up. Minnesota's a crap hole. Michelle Tafoya is running for U.S. Senate. Nice young lady. Don't know her. Saw her in the sideline at her football games. Klobuchar is going to run for governor. They're all crying out there. Tafoya, by the way, running as a Republican, seems to be a conservative, but I don't know. I'll get on my show and ask if they ever come on. I can't emphasize more. You can't back down here. One sign of weakness, the whole narrative on our side collapses. One sign of weakness, they win. One sign of it. The Republicans have no way out of this. Now, Trump ran and got 77 million votes. He ran on a platform of deporting millions and millions of illegals, not 500,000, millions. And where are they? Minnesota. And that's why they're there. They're in Maine. They get them out of there too. And any other place. And the police refuse to cooperate with them. Like now they're not going to do in Virginia. If you look at what is going on in Virginia, it is breathtaking. I mean, I can't even begin to tell you what is going on here. It is breathtaking. Not here. I live in D.C. It's incredible. The bills they've passed in a week. They've raised taxes on everything. Anything that moves, they taxed. Now they got a bill to defund VMI. The second most prestigious military college in the United States of America. They have moved to defund it. All the endowments have to go through the state Senate and be approved. They're moving to collapse VMI, Virginia Military Institute, and bring it under HBCU. This is a Louise Lucas special. This is what they've done in 1 week. You put these people in, they're nuts. You look at what Mandami's doing in there. I don't think people get it. Yeah, you think you're nice going and voting for Spanberger and all these libtards, you're being nice. We need to get nice again. And this is what you get. They've raised taxes on every... Oh, and by the way, they also have a bill in there. Mike says they have a 5-cent plastic bag on tax in Richmond now. So you get a plastic bag, you pay 5 cents. You see the things they're taxing? Food delivery. Oh, they're taxing that. Car, Uber, Lyft, they're increasing taxes on that. You name it, they're increasing guns, ammo, big taxes. Anything they don't like, they're going to tax. Wait till the gas tax comes. So they can put that money into what? Illegal daycares. So they can pay their army for fraud. Oh, by the way, they got a bill in right now, triple their pay. Legislature gets $17,000. They want to move it to $45,000. Triple it. There's nobody to stop them. Who's going to stop them? Oh, yeah, they deserve it. No, they don't. They work 8 weeks a year. You want to work 8 weeks and make $50,000? Not a bad gig. No, times 6, that's a $300,000 income for an 8-week job annualized. Who's going to stop it? Nobody's going to stop it, and there's no media there. You know, since I came to D.C., I don't cover it, but, you know, a little bit. There's no media. There's no Laura Vizella at the Washington Post. She took the buyout. Virginia Pilot's a joke. Richmond Times-Dispatch is a joke. There's no coverage. There's a couple blogs that are paid for by donors to write what they want. So stop the nonsense. These are not independent journals, okay? Good people work at them. Some of them are my friends, but they're funded by donors. They sell no ads. There's no media here. There was no media in Minneapolis. Where was the Minneapolis Star-Tribune when all this fraud was going on? They never asked a question. There was not one investigative journalist expose by the Minneapolis Star-Tribune or the St. Paul Pioneer Press, not one. I don't know who still owns Minneapolis St. Paul. When I was with McClatchy, we made the acquisition from Knight Ritter. I went there a couple months. That was once, it was always liberal, but it was a proud paper. Now they don't even, all they do is push the left-wing narrative. It's what they all do. They don't even print that thing in Minnesota. They print it somewhere in Iowa. They don't even print it there. Joke. It's a joke. There's can't back down. Have to go forward.